Horrible news for Tesla, my friends. Horrible news. And actually, it is horrible. 2 men have died, and that's horrible. So we'll separate that from the context of this video we're going to do because I'm going to share with you some comments by the Tesla. I don't even know what they are. The apostles, I guess. I'm not sure what you call these people. The people who just, it's like Tesla is God to them. It's weird. But anyway, this is actually bad. It's bad. So here's a Tesla car that was on autopilot. It kills 2. It took 30,000 gallons of water before firefighters gave up. And we'll talk about what happened there with the lithium battery. So again, this is What's Up With That. I guess it's just whatsupwiththat.com. And you should go to What's Up With That every day. It's just fantastic. A horror Tesla crash in Houston involving an autopilot Tesla car has claimed 2 lives. According to firefighters, the high-energy batteries kept reigniting. Firefighters attempted to douse the battery for 4 hours, pouring 30,000 gallons of water onto the fire before giving up and letting the fire burn itself out. The batteries on board the Tesla continued to ignite despite efforts to douse the flames. It reportedly took around 4 hours more, 30,000 gallons of water before firefighters decided to let it burn itself out. It is unclear at this stage what caused the crash, though investigators have stated they believe no one was driving when the crash occurred. It's not clear what the cause of death was, but I think we have a pretty good gauge here. Given the duration and the intensity of the blaze, I'm guessing the only detailed data available might be whatever the autopilot uploaded to the Tesla mothership before it was consumed by fire. The lithium in Tesla batteries creates a fire which is far more dangerous than a gasoline fire and almost impossible to extinguish. Think twice before you park a Tesla in your home garage. If the battery ignites and firefighters cannot extinguish the blaze, you could lose your house. I actually wonder about that because this is the first time we heard this, as much as the Tesla apostles would like you to believe that this never happened before. It's not the first time we've heard this. And I'm just wondering what the homeowner's insurance would ultimately end up saying. I don't know. Like if you keep some extra gasoline in your garage and that ignites, would the homeowner's insurance say, there's a risk we didn't know we were taking on? I literally don't know. I've always wondered about that. Your extra propane tanks? I have no idea. Even if your house structure survives the fire, acute exposure to the smoke and lithium contamination of the house and surroundings could be an issue. Lithium poisoning can cause long-term dementia like neurological problems, pyramidal cell dysfunction, along with problems with speech and muscle weakness. Let's just say if I see a big lithium fire, I'm not planning to hang around and breathe in the smoke. Now, the sad thing, actually, with a lot of websites, they're getting rid of the comments, and I just wish they would not do that, because the comments where you can learn some serious stuff here. So we're going to go down, actually, but first and foremost, let's see, I think we scroll down. We're going to see, hold on, right here. How do you extinguish a lithium battery fire? That's from 2 months ago. U.S. government urges Tesla to recall 158,000 vehicles over safety fires. Here's Elon Musk. EVs will double electricity demand, but renewables and grid-scale batteries will deliver. Yeah, good luck with that. All right, so let's see here. How do you extinguish? So we talked about how do you extinguish a lithium battery fire. We talked about that 2 months ago here. Anyway, so let's go on here. The video refers to Hyundai's recall of 80,000 electric vehicles due to battery problems. Not my expertise, but what about EV battery fires? Apparently impossible to extinguish. So your car takes fire and burns down your house. In the early days, cars were kept in a separate coach house. All right, hold on a sec. Log out. In the early days, cars were kept in separate coach house, which was distant from the residence in case the car started a fire. Is that going to be the new norm, the detached garage? All right, so let's keep doing. Where are the lawyers needed to take the car manufacturers and authorities to court for allowing this dangerous product to be sold to an unsuspecting public deceived by eco-muppets? Also, if your house and health is ruined by your idiot neighbor's purchase of one of these Frankenstein vehicles, then reaching for greedy lawyers can be the top of my list. Have car insurance companies really figured this out? I don't know. That's a good question. All right, but let's check. According to Reuters, the car crashed and there was a fire. No mention of the nature of the fire or the difficulty of extinguishing it. Maybe the fire engines of the future will be carrying trucks of sand. Of course, the obvious choice for an electrical fire is CO2. And this guy says doesn't work with lithium because electrolyte gives off oxygen as it burns, and a shorted cell provides the heat for initial ignition. A shorted cell provides the heat for initial ignition. Doesn't work with the lithium battery because the electrolyte gives us oxygen. Actually, my man Leo Smith has some other good stuff to say in here. I've been around lithium batteries for 15 years as part of the aero modeling fraternity. Early on, one of the most chilling accounts was a battery pack left disconnected on the passenger seat of a car parked in California sunshine. Neither the pack nor the car survives. There were pictures. All right, so hear that. One of the early accounts was a battery pack left on the passenger seat parked in the car in the California sunshine. Neither the pack nor the car survived. But the myth is that lithium, that is the problem, needs to be outed. It isn't any more than lead in a lead acid battery that goes bang. It's the rest of the electrolyte, an organic witch's brew that apparently carries its own oxygen. So it's not the lithium, it's not the lead, it's the electrolyte. All right, interesting. All right. Let's see. I want to see something else. This is actually kind of interesting, too. With regard to the issues of the technology of self-driving cars, there's been a related story in today's British Telegraph. You think it was a joke, but it's not. Apparently, it's been established that self-driving cars may struggle to recognize dark-skinned faces in the dark. The context was pedestrians crossing the road in front of these cars. Whatever the real risk is, you can't help but feel that this technology isn't ready to be let loose on the public, even for testing. Somehow, however, it seems that a form of green woke pass is allowing it to be rushed through. Hey. All right, so I want to keep, because there's something good in here. Autopilot's not, okay. This is just a wonderful thing, and you should definitely read this. Okay, so here we go. This is what I want to read here. Why did the fire officials waste 30,000 gallons of water? The safety data says lithium is light and floats on water. There's also a 600-meter exclusion zone, although we are told we can approach a 70 meters upwind. Our fire hoses won't get that far. Here's an example for specification of a fire truck. And these days, it's probably safe to assume that the firefighters know what they're doing. Even if you can't extinguish a fire, water can keep down temperature and protect nearby property and people. I remember one fire in downtown Toronto where the building was gutted and partially collapsed, but the firemen were able to keep the fire from spreading. Yeah. And this guy says, that's not the reason for not using water on these fires. Gasoline floats on water too, but it doesn't react with the water. He's got a link in here, but I'm not sure why it's not doing it. The reaction produces heat and hydrogen. Putting water on it just makes the fire worse. All right. If these things become actually common, fire departments all across the country will need to retrain and re-equip to deal with them. I keep a Class D fire extinguisher in the house if I ever have to deal with a fire in one of our laptops or the UPS, the uninterrupted power supply. More than $200, but worth it. And anyway, so all right here, check this out. Every electric vehicle registration should bear a share of the cost. Now, if you replace every registered vehicle in the U.S., that would work out of something. All right. Anyway, there's no raw lithium in a lithium battery to react with water. There's no raw lithium. The lithium in batteries does not exist as a metal. It's usually a salt, lithium carbonate. And it isn't that which burns. It's usually the organic electrolyte, which reignites because there's a lot of electrical load still in the energy, there's still a lot of load of electrical energy left to reheat it after it's been put out. So let me read that again. All right, the lithium in the batteries does not exist as a metal. It's usually as a salt, lithium carbonate. And it isn't that which burns. It's usually the organic electrolyte, which reignites because there is still a load of electrical energy left to reheat the thing after it's been put out. Isn't that interesting? Actually, there's something else too. I hate to say it, but anyone relying on Teslas, okay, now they had something on here. This is where I got that meme, by the way. Where there are two men. These are the men who. Let's see if I can. Yeah, these are the men who produce the oil that fuel my Suburban. These are the children who dig up the cobalt and lithium for your electric car batteries. But there was something on here where EVs have a stamp on right here. I thought they put a picture on here. Austrian vehicle registration in all the states now require the EV display a blue sticker on the front and the rear registration plates as a warning for roads and traffic authorities, fire departments, and police that lithium-ion batteries are on board if an EV is involved in a collision or other exothermic reaction inferno event. All right, pretty interesting. But they had a picture on here about that. I thought that was pretty interesting, actually. Let's see if we can't find it here. All right, so anyway, let's go back down. I want to share with you some comments here too, because it's funny, man. I just, look, people do whatever they want to do. I literally don't care, but I find it, how do you extinguish a lithium battery fire? Right here. So we're Finny. Yeah, that's from 2 months ago. A few weeks ago, I asked a firefighter friend how they extinguish electric vehicle battery fires. Oh, you must be like a Tesla or something. The answer is you can't. You cordon off the area. You spray a fine mist of water on the fire to keep the temperature down until it finishes burning. It takes a few days until it's safe. The problem is being highly flammable. Lithium is literally the lightest metal. And atomic number 3 is the first element of the periodic table, which is a solid. The 2 previous elements, hydrogen and helium, are both gases. Lithium is so light it floats on water, is entirely happy to blaze away while sitting on the surface of the puddle of water. So if you try to smother a lithium fire with sand, the sand sinks to the bottom and the lithium floats on top. Lithium melts at 180 degrees Celsius, or 356 Fahrenheit, and burns at 2,000 Celsius. More than hot enough to melt steel, more than hot enough to destroy most composites and metals like aluminum. The fumes from burning lithium fire are highly toxic, capable of causing death and long-term dementia. There are chemical extinguishers, but my fire station friend didn't seem to think much of them, at least not for large lithium fires. I guess you might be able to smother a large lithium fire by dropping a Chernobyl-style sarcophagus made of steel on top of it, or partially made of some material which could handle the heat. But then you could fill the sarcophagus with an inert gas like argon, or just wait for the oxygen to run out. But equipping fire departments with that kind of device would be an expensive exercise. What does your fire department do when they have to extinguish a lithium fire? I'd love to know. I can tell a few Australian fire departments. Cordon off the area and spray a mist of water at the fire for a few days would be serious inconvenience or worse. And if the burning vehicle was, say, blocking an important road junction on a high street or someone's residential workplace storage. Man, that's crazy. In the Netherlands, they will hoist the whole car in a large container with water if there's enough space to do so. That's crazy, man. There's a large fireproof blanket that smothers fires. Firefighters better order the blankets because the EVs are growing in numbers. Bernie goes solar. That's pretty funny. All right, so back in 2002, as fire chief, like many who had electrical backgrounds, inquired the major auto company of how to handle accident scenes involving their battery-fueled vehicles. I still cringe with the responses. They offered nothing. The thing is, the chief and or scene commander is liable for an injury or death of staff in event unfortunate things happen. Training and such still seems a shockingly problem exists. The manufacturers, lawyers, and paid-off politicians who may have alleviated some of the liability for the fire service and even made donations, but the problem is now supersized. Direct current kills by flatlining the heart. Defibrillators work on the same concept with the hopes that the heart starts again when the heart has an irregularity. Oh, man, it's crazy. Lloyd's of London lawsuit reveals story behind Kahuku wind farm fires. Yeah, so that's nuts. So let's pause here, and we're gonna read some of the comments. So I hope you're on the community tab of my Heritage Wealth Planning, because it's fun. And so I kind of post a running blog of various things. And this is the meme I just shared with you. So let's see some of the comments here. One guy says, pretty sure they're bad pictures from all other countries that drill for oil. Yeah, probably. But the facts are, we beat you to it. All right. If the left, all right, yeah. So let's see. There's a guy. All right. So this guy right here. Is Big Rec Red is a big because he's posted other things here. So we're gonna go back So he's very interested in making sure that Tesla does not get bad rap. All right, so we also got right here, no record of Tesla battery igniting at home or parked anywhere as far as I know, because Big Wreck Red hasn't heard it hasn't happened. I don't know how far the EV hype will go, but if they keep subsidies and battery costs keep getting lower, it'll be forced change. It'll happen because of simple economics. That's if electricity rates don't skyrocket. Elon Musk himself is saying EVs are going to double the load, the demand on electricity. So electricity rates are going to skyrocket because we're limiting the supply of dirty production from coal, natural gas, nuclear, never mind hydros. It's just nuts. Finny. Yeah, I prefer a bunch of toxic lead instead, this guy says. So here's, hold on a second. Finn. So Tim's thing is say, yes, lithium are bad, but I'd still like some toxic lead. Well, the funny thing is we've had lead acid batteries for as long as we've had batteries. And we don't have this kind of issue. We just don't. I mean, it's just a fact. So Tim, I'd prefer toxic lead instead. Like, okay, good argument. And here goes. Not entirely true. The fire didn't even burn all the tires, and it was 30,000 gallons, and the firefighters were not trained improperly for EV tire fires. Well, we just talked about. So basically, Kathleen says this is what's going on. They didn't even burn all the tires. Okay. So Tim is very conscious to say, you can't blame Tesla. And then we got my man Harry, who's literally his whole retirement plan is based on Tesla. It's crazy. So, all right. So where's Harry, man? He posted something. More than 174,000 vehicle fires happen every year in the United States, about 1 to 3 minutes. Imagine the outrage if this happened. If this would happen to electric cars. However, there are more than 300,000 Teslas on the road, and only 40 fires have happened after 7.5 billion miles traveled. But the problem is putting out a lead acid battery fire versus a lithium battery fire is a little bit different there, guy. So just FYI. Where did Harry go, man? Did he take his thing off? All right, hold on a sec. Let me see. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, did he delete it? Comments. Oh, Harry, you didn't. 10 comments. Where are all the other comments, man? Did he delete his comment? Yep, he must have deleted. So it's still here, but oh man. All right, so Harry says approximately. Okay. This is spin and fake news, says Harry. I'd expected this YouTuber, that'd be me, and audience be particularly well-tuned in recognizing fake news and not contributing to spreading it. So he's saying it's spin and fake news. All right, and I said, so this did not happen? And Harry says, as a typical to a Tesla acolyte, approximately 100 people die in car accidents each day in America. Imagine if every fatal crash was headline news. Why do you think only Tesla crashes on headlines? You cannot find an even similar Ford or GM story. And I said, but Harry, you said it's fake news, because he literally said it was fake news. So we know that Harry is lying. It wasn't fake news. Now, you can argue about why this is headline news, which I wonder, is it truly headline news? Because I only found it because some of the climate deniers I follow posted this. At the end of the day, though, if it bleeds, it leads, man. It's not dog bites man. It's always man bite dog. That's the way the media is. Come on, Harry. But then he says, all right, so I said, but you said it's fake news. That's what he said. I didn't say it's fake news. He said it was. And then he goes off to a tangent to try to justify his saying it's fake news. And he says, yes, unidentified official sources saying that no one was behind the wheel, where we've had unidentified speculation here, not factual reporting. But again, did this not happen? Did these people die, and could they not put out the fire? Huh? So he's saying unidentified fake news. I grant you that. But these 2 people died. A Tesla. It seems to be some speculation that is not driven as autopilot. We won't know. Why won't we know? Because the guys who die are dead. And because a Tesla burned, we don't have any black box, essentially, to prove it or not. However, I think it's pretty safe to assume. On top of that, he couldn't put out the fire. Anyway, so I'm not sure why I deleted that, man. It's weird. Maybe he didn't. Well, I think you did. All right, so there you go. So look, man, you can buy Tesla, all that all day long. I don't care, but I'm just telling you, as I say all the time, I think I put it on here. If you're buying Tesla, it's not because of electric vehicles. You're buying Tesla stock, I'm saying. Yeah, you should not buy it because of the EVs. Electric vehicles, no big deal. It's just not a big deal. Everyone's like, oh, you're like the horse and buggy. Yeah, the difference between the internal combustion engine versus a horse and buggy are night and day. The difference between an ICE and a Tesla electric vehicle are minimal. So to go from a horse pulling a buggy to internal combustion engine, significant increases in efficiency, significant increases. So much it's not even silly to even say, but you're a Luddite, anti-Tesla. It's like, yeah, there's no change in the electric vehicle. I still do what I want to do. In fact, it's actually going worse because of the lack of, whoa, what are you doing, buddy? Because you got to charge your batteries a whole lot more than you can do with a full tank of gas. That's just fact. But the whole point about Tesla is that the batteries, for battery storage, that's why you buy the stock. And if the batteries have issues, that's would, in my opinion, put some serious down. I will see you.